Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, Girls in Science and Technology Ghana, and let's learn from our amazing females in science, technology, engineering, and math, our females in the STEM fields. Let's encourage our young ones to pursue careers in STEM. Kindly share these videos with all the amazing females out there who have to see this. Thank you. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome once again to Gist with Girls in Science and Technology. Gist with Gist. So today we have an amazing, intelligent, beautiful lady joining us. Her name is Lois AFUA DAMPTEY. She's a materials engineer. Yes, materials engineer. It's a thing. So Lois is going to explain to us what that is. We are going to talk about her journey. And if you've heard of a Ghanaian female who had the opportunity or who was called upon by the British government to, should I talk about her project, to present her project, this is the smart, intelligent lady. So Lois, welcome to Gist with Gist. Thank you so much for making time to join us.
Thank you so much, Ohima, for having me. And I must commend that you're doing a great job projecting girls and women who are doing amazingly well in STEM career, not just to boast or to brag, but to inform the future generations of the various career prospects you can be when you take out STEM. And I see this as a major project, and I must commend you. I say keep up the good work. And I said I wanted to say this before I start, and so keep doing what you're doing. Okay, so I'll just share a bit about my educational journey. So my name, as you said, is Lois AFUA DAMPTEY. I went to Providence Basic School Limited at Kotobabi Abavana Down. I don't know how many of you know that, but it's closer to 37 Pig Farm, Mamobi Abavana Down. Then I moved on to go to Laboni Senior High School, where I did science. And I further moved on to do materials science and engineering at University of Ghana, Legon for 4 years. Then within the 4 years, I had the opportunity to do an MPhil, that's a Master of Philosophy in Materials Science and Engineering. 1 year in Ghana, still with the same department of University of Ghana, and 1 year in Aston University in Birmingham, UK, specifically with the research group and an institute known as the European Bioenergy Research Institute. Then from there, I moved on to do my PhD, which I'm still currently doing in the Open University in Milton Keynes, UK.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I've said a lot.
What led you into choosing this field?
I think that life happened. I think mostly our directions are geared towards what life happens. So I remember when I was in senior high school where I did science, I wasn't too good with biology, and too good not meaning it was that bad, but it wasn't as strong as what we require as moving into the traditional doctor field as we all grew up. I mean, mostly anyone doing science feels like, oh, I want to be a doctor. And I mean, we've changed that narrative now. So I had very strong foundation in chemistry and physics. So one of my uncles who worked with Council for Scientific and Research Institute as a technician there advised that materials engineering is a growing field. When I was venturing, it was just developing. So she said that looking at 10 to 15 years to come is going to be an amazing field contributing to development. So he advised that since I have a strong foundation in physics and chemistry, then I should move into materials engineering. I remember wanting to do biomedical engineering because it was something somewhat close to the medical field, but he advised, based on his analogy and what he saw about prospects in life, that materials engineering would be a great venture, and I've never regretted doing that.
So what is materials engineering? What does it involve?
Okay, I get this question a lot. I mean, one of my uncles told me that, do I sew clothes? I'm like, and I was like, no, I don't sew clothes. So it's basically, in a nutshell, being able to change the structure of something to suit a particular property. Okay, so an example is, okay, so we have a chair, and the chair is made of wood, and you or him you are 50 kg. You sit on the chair, it doesn't break, but you get somebody who is 150 kg sitting on that same chair and it breaks. Okay, so that means that it's not able to carry the weight of the person with the 150 kg. So we have to modernize that material to be able to carry the weight of the person with the 150 kg. So materials engineering, anything and everything about it is changing the structure of a material to suit a particular property. It has a lot of dimensions. We have ceramics, polymers, metals, nanomaterials, biomaterials, and I mean, it has a lot of wings. And as we grow in that field, so many wings come about because different problems tend to come, and we are solving different problems as we go. So different wings come about. Yeah.
So in this field, in your field, what are some of the challenges that you faced? And share with us how you overcame these challenges. I'm sure it's ongoing, so you share some with us.
I think I'll never forget one of these things. I share on every platform I go to. It's and I mean, that's the status quo. Like, we all know it now, moving past it. So mostly about the ratio of the men to the girls, and that having an impact on how we contribute in a certain we find ourselves. Because when we find an all males group, sometimes we the women, we tend to not be too much voiced out. And even culturally ascertaining in a home, in Ghana, you're not really allowed to speak what you have to speak, let alone finding yourself in a niche of people that are a little bit daunting, like fear daunting on you. So I think that has been one of the major things I've had to channel or battle every step of the way, trying to find a voice amongst this group of men field, and trying to establish what my point is. Moving forward, what I realized was that everybody has perspectives, and perspectives are to somebody. So I always believed that we don't know everything. We are all in a learning journey. So I might say something, and I believe that whatever I've said shouldn't be a measure of my intelligence, but should be what I felt contributing to that particular topic. So that has built that level of confidence in every setting I've found myself in, to always, contribute to that particular topic if I have an ideology, and not be worried about the men or people around me. Yeah.
So you found your voice now.
Yeah, I think so. I'm still learning. There are new challenges. You meet new people who know better than you do. But what we all say is that we are running the race. So if I'm walking, you're running. If I'm crawling, you're running. We are still meeting to catch up. So we are all learning. It's a learning curve for me.
So what motivates you?
I think I'm very self-motivated, that if I want to do something, I go for it. But one of the strongest pillars in trying to hammer on what I want to do is my father. And we are having this interview. I don't know when it's going to come out, but we all know tomorrow is Father's Day. And I want to use this video to tell him how motivating he has been throughout my journey. And also, always hammering on the fact that do it. He always wanted me to be a doctor, but now he got back and told me that you are now a doctor of many people. You are not just a doctor for children, because he wanted me to be a pediatrician. Now you're a doctor for a lot of people that you are impacting up to generations upon generations. So that every idea I share with him, people have different ideologies. You're doing way too much. But he always says that, are you getting tired of what you're doing? I said, no. Then he said, then go for it. So he has been one of the strongest pillars of motivation. Not to say my mother is actually who innerly drives me, but my daddy surrounds it with me. So they all complement each other in terms of motivations. Yeah.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much. So Lois Damptey, as I said, is a PhD candidate. She's studying materials engineering, and she has had the opportunity to share her project with the British government. So Lois, can you talk about the project? What exactly is this project about? How did it come about? How did you get called by the British government to share it? Like, we want to know everything.
Everything.
Yes.
So, when I was giving the educational background, it was just flowing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it really didn't happen that way, because there were a lot of, pitfalls along the way. We were just climbing and shaking and moving, and every step of the way formed part of the puzzle. Okay.
Yeah.
It all came together to make what I am and who I am today. So maybe some other time, or even in the course of the conversation, I'm going to mention bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
So I got the chance. So my supervisor, when I got into the UK first time, 6 months into the UK, my project, normally if you come to the UK, during your first 6 months, you're doing a lot of reading about what you're doing and the project you're going to undertake. So I'm looking at something to do with next generation solar purification systems for wastewater treatment in Ghana. So simply put, we are using sunlight to be able to purify water. Okay. In Ghana. Okay. So my question is, what really motivated the British Parliament to actually be interested in something like that? That has nothing to do with the British, but has something to do with West Africa, which I'm coming to that. So he told me to put in the application. And before that, we had gone for a conference that actually stated that, it's for final year PhD students and early career researchers. And early career researchers are people who are done with their PhD. So they are trying to find their feet as normal researchers to gain grounds and stuff like that. So when he told me to put in, I'm like, okay, hello, who is he talking to again? Well, he said I should put in it. So I remember 2 days to the close of the time, he asked me, have you put in your application? Because they've not sent me an email to write a recommendation for you. And I've said, no, I'm not going to put it in because I heard clearly what they said. They said for final year, they said, don't do that. I'm going to be very angry with you. So I put in the application. I remember when I was submitting my application, I was 10,378. And I'll never forget this number because it still rang a bell. And that comes to where the story is lying. So this is a project where there are call for people, professionals, and people doing amazing things in Britain. They want to know what innovations are going on in Britain to be able to, contribute to that. And they were going to choose 30 people. Okay. And this is 10,000 and like the whole crew of people. I just knew by no standards that I was going to be called. Who even cares about a project that is happening in Ghana? But just not to make my supervisor angry, I just put in the application. And after 3 months, I received a message one night to say, congratulations, you've been called to present. Ohima, I must confess, I got fever. I was ill. I had to be admitted at the hospital for 2 days. I was completely overwhelmed. Over me. I was shocked to be called to present. And it taught me one thing on that hospital bed, that you do not know. I'm a strong Bible believing Christian, and I believe that you do not know the power of what you carry. And he will show you the power of what you carry if that's what you want him to do. And he showed me that out of the length of, I was even thinking, if it was even a raffle draw, which I've never won lottery in Ghana before, even if you pick me,
Yeah.
Like, there was no way I was going to be selected. It has never happened to me before.
Wow.
So it increased my faith, I must say, in God and what He's capable of doing. That is not to say preparation didn't go in. When preparation meets opportunity, trust me, it becomes a bigger field for you. So I believe that was just the point He needed me to get to show me that He's with me on this walk and He was going to carry me through.
Wow.
So that's what I got from it. Moving on, when we got to the House of Commons, I mean, amazing works. Like, you could see it, and people came to me and people said, "This is a good technology. How did you think about something like this? How did you something like this?" And these things have been there. These technologies have been there, but it hasn't been carried on. So I'm just doing one dimension of it. There's a part of it I shared. I'm going to be coming to Ghana in July to do a project like that, and we are looking at Educrom area and stuff like that, carrying samples, how to use AI. They already have borehole systems. How are we going to channel the reactor systems to be able to purify the water for them, that they can even use just a key to tap on the borehole and water is going to flow out for them. So this is a big project and we are just starting. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank God. You didn't to clap. If it wasn't for the interview, you might have just given me a standing ovation. But like,
yeah.
yeah, we thank God, to the glory of God. Actually,
Amazing.
yeah,
Yeah. So, with all this said, right? How do you think we can get more females to pursue STEM?
Ohima, I've been thinking about this. You see the way I call you, Ohima? It's like some chieftaincy position. Like, I've thought about it. And I think I'm going to share it categorically because I believe it should even start from the home. Okay, so we come up from a home where our families, my family, not too educated, and didn't really understand what it was all about. And I always say anywhere that I go, that families are major stakeholders in the upbringing of a child.
Yeah.
So if they come to understand the things that we do, okay, the STEM fields that are available, they will be able to push on their wards to be able to take up such fields. Unfortunately for us, it's not visibly seen. Okay, that is why we need mentors. When I call mentors, not people physically directing your path, but people like women who are doing amazingly well in STEM. That's why I always project the gist as a good, because it is when your mom sees a banker on the television, you say, "Whoa, Obawe."
Yeah.
She's a banker, so you also have to be a banker. So if they see majority of these fields, that's why this program needs to go on TV. Majority of these fields on TV, television stage, that girl is an engineer, not just an engineer where we grew up with being automobile or mechanical or something like that. That is not to say they are not good, they are great. But engineering has left the field of what the hands could do to what the brains could do.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are so many ventures of engineering that have come in being. There are so many fields of STEM that are doing amazingly well. So if our families are able to see these things, they are able to impact onto the child. Okay, so now let's move from where the families could play a role. Now, if these girls as well could see the people being projected in their major STEM fields, they would then know that they are not supposed to give up on where they came from, the STEM they are holding on. So majority of these problems is that we get them going into the science fields, and somewhere along the line they branch into other fields because that's more comfortable. Okay, so it's how do we maintain them studying science, mathematics, to move on to the university to do something in that and find a potential niche and career for them to be able to venture into. That is the challenge. We are going to challenge girls now. And we are obviously going to be changing the status quo. And so these events and these programs are good in highlighting mentors to be able to impact on these societies, to get them to know that it is possible to succeed and do extremely well when you continue in your STEM field. So I think that's one of the major ways to actually have girls in doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what advice do you have for the young ones looking to go into STEM careers, and even for those already in it, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah,
think you are in it, but then you get to a point where maybe you don't even have anybody to look up to, right? Like
yeah,
that's the should I say the farthest somebody has gone. So now you're,
yeah,
should I say, stuck or confused, and
yeah.
so what advice would you do you have?
Okay, so every young girl listening to this channel and listening to me, I just want you to know that we need you guys. We need every single girl who is doing STEM, science, engineering, technology, mathematics, who is doing science to continue in your field. You know, I mean, these statistics must be old, but I think um, the number of people graduating from STEM fields are about a single percentage.
Yes.
And out of that single percentage, we have just about 20% of females doing that. That means 80% of them are men. And there are so many STEM fields that are coming: data scientists, psychological sciences, robotics, mechanical, civil. I'm even seeing a lot of biomedical engineering, all of them, mathematical algorithms, data scientists. So 80% forming the majority of males. It's not a sure balance. So we need everyone, even graduating with that single percentage of STEM, and every girl to maintain the STEM fields. If it means that you need to find somebody to talk to, that is why we are there. We are Google away. We are a Facebook away, an Instagram away. We are all now currently vexed in all social media platforms. And I get a lot of these young girls contacting me. I even got one call yesterday from a girl who wanted to study materials engineering, but we're thinking how she's going to combine it. And she's from Wesley Girls and moving on to, and I advised her, and she moved with that energy. And I told her that, okay, I might have advised you at this point in time, but trust me, in the next month you're going to still be confused, so make sure you come back to me. Okay, so we need you in that field. If it gets hard, it's going to get hard. There's no venture that is easy, so there's no easy way out of things. I mean, if you know the end to the glory, you will stick to the path line. So always stick to that path line, and I mean, be excellent at what you do. Okay, wherever the field you find yourself in, and it's obviously going to show. It's obvious. People are going to see, and people will always call on you, and you also become like a mentor to people behind us. So one of also the things is that when you do STEM or something, we are not dateable, or we are not marriageable, because we are learning too much. I think I would have to host you on that, to speak on that, because the journey on that path to being professional is quite a long path. Okay, so a lot of people want to just find the easy way out of things, and they fall along the path. But I think you are also an example to show you that, I mean, there are men who are ready to support that vision of you maintaining that path. So don't be dismayed, don't be worried about that as well, and keep on moving on in the STEM and the field you're sure to study in.
Thank you so much, Lois. Let me add to what she said.
Yeah,
but a DM away, Facebook, where Instagram, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms. I have a lot of people actually DMing me on our Instagram page at just GH. I have people who, on behalf of others, right? They'll be like, "Oh, my sister is studying science. She has an interest in this, that. If it's not my field, I still find someone for you who can better advise you on that particular field, in that particular field, or how, like, the best advice, better than what I know. That's if I need advice from someone else concerning that too, right? So please feel free to ask. Don't be afraid. What is the worst? I always say, what's the worst that can happen? If the worst that can happen is me not responding, and it's like, you're not losing anything, right? What if I respond? Then you gain something. So we are here to support as much as we can. We are also still learning. We are young. We are still learning from each other, from those who have already taken the step ahead, or the step ahead. So just contact us. We are here for you anytime. Thank you so much, Lois. When you come to Ghana, let me know that you're in Ghana.
Oh, Hima, I'm come to worry you. Like, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, and projects we can launch and all of that. And I know you've heard that, and you're already self-driven and motivated. But keep doing what you're doing. We really need it. And these are actionable plans to make it very visible. So, thank you so much for doing this. I cannot but appreciate it. Actually. Yeah.
Thank you.
And yeah, my social media handles too. I like to portray because like it's now the current generations are all about the social media. So we had to also squeeze our way and find our niche there and be more. So we can share our social media handles if they want to contact you, so you can link them to me. That's cool.
I'll tag you, or I'll put your social media handles in the description box, if that's okay with you.
That's perfect.
So thank you so much, Lois, for joining us today. It's a pleasure. We've been chatting. It's a pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching this. So subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing videos. Thank you.
Thank you.